Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Erik Ten Hag provides a fresh injury update on Shaw and Wan-Bissaka. Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag has provided a mixed injury update on Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka ahead of the Premier League clash against Sheffield United today. Shaw and Wan-Bissaka picked up injuries in August and September respectively. They have yet to report for training, but Ten Hag has revealed that the latter is not far away from doing so. Speaking in yesterday's press conference, he told ManUnited.com, "Of course, they are closer to a comeback, but so, for instance, Luke Shaw, I don't expect him back in this block of games. For instance, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I don't think he is too far away from returning to team training and so back in the team." Shaw and Wan-Bissaka were Ten Hag's preferred fullback options during the back end of last season, and their absence has been felt with United struggling to contain the opposition from scoring. Judging by the manager's update, Wan-Bissaka is close to making his comeback and could be involved in full training over the coming weeks before returning to first team action. Wan-Bissaka does not provide the same attacking threat as Dalot, but he is one of the best defenders in the game when it comes to one-on-one situations and has been missed. Meanwhile, Shaw may not be available until after the next international break. The €42 million rated star was a mainstay from the left-back position for United until his injury. United have a quality cover in the form of Sergio Reguilon, but the fans would ideally want the Englishman back in action as he provides the right balance in attack and defense. The Red Devils have secured only 12 points from the opening 8 league games. They are currently 5 points adrift of the top 4, and today's game against the Blades is a must-win. Man United manager Erik Ten Hag sends message to Andre Onana. Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag has backed goalkeeper Andre Onana ahead of the Premier League clash at Sheffield United on Saturday evening. The Cameroon international joined the Red Devils from Inter Milan last summer. He has had a difficult start to his career and has been guilty of making high-profile mistakes. One of those came in the recent game against Brentford. His poor keeping allowed the Bees to open the scoring at Old Trafford, but his blushes were saved by Scott McTominay's late heroics. United will be in action against the Blades today, and ahead of the game, Ten Hag has said that the 27-year-old will do much better for the club in the forthcoming matches. He told ManUnited.com, "He knows, we know, he will do much better. And as every player who's coming into the Premier League, you need an integration period, but he has to step up. Big United keepers like Peter Schmeichel and David De Gea started not doomed, and Andre knows that it's good to know a little bit from history. We live now, we live in the future, and he has to make his future by giving better performances. I am sure he will do." He showed it at Barcelona, Ajax, Inter Milan. He was in the semi-final and final of Champions League. I am sure he will give a great performance. The Cameroonian joined the Red Devils with a big reputation, and many considered him as an upgrade on David De Gea, who left on a free transfer. However, the €55 million signing has yet to find his feet. Onana has been unconvincing with his long balls and has been poor in saving low shots in the box. Despite this, his position is under no pressure. He has the complete backing from Ten Hag and will be determined to prove himself going forward. On paper, United should come on top against Sheffield United and Copenhagen in the next 2 games. Their next big challenge will be against Manchester City in the derby at Old Trafford. The club needs to build momentum by going on a winning streak. Erik Ten Hag gives Kumi Mayo injury update and reveals return date. Manchester United boss Erik Ten Hag has indicated that Kumi Mayo is not yet ready to feature against Sheffield United on Saturday, but the midfielder is not far from making a sensational return to action. Maino was undoubtedly United's breakout star of pre-season before he sustained an unfortunate ankle injury during United's clash against Real Madrid that has kept him out since late July. A recent report covered by the People's Person revealed that Maino played in a behind-closed-door friendly against Bardsley during the international break. It was relayed that he looked sharp ahead of his side's game versus Sheffield at Bramall Lane. Ten Hag was asked about Maino's availability. He said, Maino is close. He is already training with us, not today, but I think next week we will have some minutes in the team, so then he can catch up his game minutes. And so, yeah, he is really improving and ready to get back in the squad for games. On Casemiro, the Dutch coach mentioned that the Brazilian international suffered a small injury while playing for the Seleção, but confirmed it's nothing serious, and the 31-year-old is on track to feature in the next Premier League clash against Manchester City at Old Trafford on October 29. When put to ask about whether he was unhappy Casemiro was selected in Brazil's starting 11 to face Uruguay, while there were major doubts about his fitness, Ten Hag remarked, You can't be, that is the rule. He is playing for a nation and he is playing for us, and we all understand that. Casemiro is a soldier and he is available for every game, so he will always give his best for his nation and for Manchester United. Jadon Sancho very likely to leave Man United in January, says Fabrizio Romano in latest update. Manchester United feel that a January exit for Jadon Sancho is now very likely as the winger's issues with manager Erik Ten Hag have not been resolved over the last 6 weeks. The 23-year-old has been outlawed from the first team by the Dutch coach after the Englishman essentially called the Man United boss a liar following the Manchester club's defeat to Arsenal at the start of September. This came after Sancho was left out of the squad for not performing in training as per his manager. In the 6 weeks that have passed since, there has been no resolution as the coaching staff waits for an apology. It has recently been reported by the Daily Mail that so much time has passed since the incident that fears are growing that Ten Hag would now view an apology as an empty gesture, meaning there is no way back for Sancho at the Manchester club. This means a departure is very likely in January, and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has confirmed so in his latest update regarding the Man United star. A move in January will likely be a loan deal, but the Mail's report states that Man United are prepared to take a significant loss on Sancho next summer, having spent £73 million on the winger in 2021. Sky Sports reports that there are several clubs across Europe interested in the winger ahead of the winter transfer window, with several outlets saying that Borussia Dortmund and Juventus are the two teams most interested in the 23-year-old. Sir Jim Ratcliffe plotting to inject new equity into Man United to kickstart his sporting revolution. Sir Jim Ratcliffe could reportedly inject significantly more equity into Manchester United beyond what he is set to fork out to purchase 25% of the club in order to fund his sporting revolution. Following Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani's decision to withdraw from the takeover process, the door was left open for Sir Jim to swoop in and win the race to get a piece of United. The 71-year-old is set to complete a partial investment of up to 25%, although it's understood a formal announcement could still be many weeks away due to the fact that there are still issues that need to be ironed out. The Ineos billionaire will also need to possibly be subjected to the Premier League owners and directors test. His proposal is entirely dependent on being granted sporting control. A recent report covered by the People's Person revealed that Sir Jim will form part of a three-man committee also consisting of Sir David Brailsford and Joel Glazer. This committee will have the responsibility of making final decisions regarding the sporting side of United, including settling on a transfer budget and sanctioning signings. According to Ben Jacobs, Sir Jim is plotting to pump in more money than he is required to fork out for control of 25% of United. These extra funds will fully go to the club. Jacob says, understands Sir Jim Ratcliffe could potentially inject new equity into Manchester United in order to get more than just 25%. This extra capital, which goes directly into the club, could be used on any project, including stadium development or transfers. There is an agreement in principle on the 25% stake and its valuation, but other aspects, including the A-B structure, are still being negotiated. As per Jacobs, the cleanest structure to put the board is a hybrid one. Ratcliffe could buy 25% of Glazer's B shares, 17.25%, and 25% of A shares, 7.75%, but things are still being finalized. That Sir Jim Ratcliffe is already looking ahead and is prepared to put his money where his mouth is will come as welcome news to worried United supporters who were concerned about the prospect of the Glazers remaining on board in some capacity. Manchester United told the Price to sign Florian Wirtz. Manchester United have reportedly been told the price required to sign long-term target Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. The Bundesliga club will demand a transfer fee in the region of 85 million euros for the midfielder's services, according to a recount by Sport Witness. Reports from Germany suggest Bayer Leverkusen will seek to cash in on the talented 20-year-old next summer. Wirtz will have 3 years remaining on his contract by the 2024 transfer window, giving his club a strong negotiating position to fully capitalize on the interest he is generating across the top echelon of European football. The breakdown by Sport Witness indicates Bayern München and Barcelona are closely monitoring Wirtz's availability, while attentive interest is stemming from England as well. United are joined by bitter rivals Manchester City and Newcastle in their admiration for the talented midfielder. Sport, a Spanish outlet, contends Barcelona will be unable to match the economic conditions required to compete for Wirtz, however, and are reported to have made the decision to give up on the prospect of bringing him to Camp Nou. Furthermore, Bayern München already possess the talented Jamal Musiala in a similar position to Wirtz, suggesting the German giants may simply be attempting their usual modus operandi of hoovering up talent from other Bundesliga teams. A price of 85 million euros may prove too costly an investment merely to simply deprive a rival of a star player, however, which would leave only interest from England. The Premier League is far and away the most economically strong in Europe, with all three clubs, United, City, and Newcastle, possessing the requisite finances to fund such a move. United's interest in Wirtz is long-standing, with reports linking the club with a pursuit as far as back to 2021. Though Wirtz's strongest position may overlap with Bruno Fernandes, the German is also capable of playing out on the right. Realistically, his potent pairing of technique and invention means he could play anywhere in the front line and still thrive. Bayer Leverkusen currently sit first in the Bundesliga. Bayer Leverkusen currently sit first in the Bundesliga, with Xabi Alonso's side drawing plaudits across the continent for their style of play, which is as exciting as it's effective. Wirtz is operating in a free attacking midfielder role within the nominal 3-4-3 structure Alonso employs. He has scored 3 goals and provided 4 assists in his opening 10 games, as well as contributing significantly to Leverkusen's general play. Given the lack of fluency United have displayed during their abysmal start this season, it's easy to see why officials at Old Trafford would be keeping a keen eye on the German player. Paul Merson says 26-year-old has got to play as he predicts Man United result. Paul Merson says Scott McTominay needs to play as Manchester United gear up for a trip to Bramall Lane. Manchester United will be hoping to secure a second consecutive win today. In order to do so, Erik Ten Hag has some huge squad decisions to make, like who starts. Paul Merson, While giving his prediction for the game on Sportskida, has explained that Ten Hag got lucky last time out. He said, "They won the game with two late goals and they didn't deserve their victory. People think that everything's great again. It's not, and they are a million miles away." Continuing, Merson explained that Scott McTominay needs to be playing after how important he was in the last game. He said, "Something has got to change at Manchester United. You can't keep blaming the Glazers. They aren't the ones that are playing. McTominay has got to play this match after what he did against Brentford. If he doesn't, he has to leave in January. The same goes for Harry Maguire." Merson joined multiple names including Roy Keane by predicting the game, although he is less confident. Despite his concerns, Merson has still backed United to pick up a 3-0 win against Sheffield in his predictions. He explained, "I don't see how Sheffield can get a win. They haven't had one all season. Sheffield are not good enough for the Premier League at the moment, and we see this a lot with the newly promoted teams. I am not majorly confident about backing Man United, but I think they should be able to win this game." As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.